and welcome to another episode of the Darkives. I'm Jamie talking to Leo.
And I'm Leo listening to Jamie.
And this week I have something of a mystery about a woman and how her death is used and blamed as a turning point for somebody who made a very large impact in the world.
Okay, yeah, let's get into it.
Angela Maria Geli Raubal was born on June 4th in 1908 in Linz, Austria, to Leo Raubal Sr. and Angela Raubal. There's not really too much on her early life except her father died when she was around 2. In 1925, her uncle Alf offered her mother a new job in Bavaria as a housekeeper. So her mom took 17-year-old Gelli and her other children to this job in Bavaria. The problem with this was that her uncle Alf immediately took a liking to his half-niece Gelli. An unusual liking to her.
Yeah, I figured it was creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was described as having, quote, unusual beauty and, quote, medium size, well developed, had dark, rather wavy hair and lively brown eyes. After she arrived to his house, she was rarely allowed out of his sight again. After working for her half-brother for about 2 years, Uncle Alf asked Angela Sr., so mom, to move to his larger house, but requested that Gelli stay behind, and he offered to have her move in with him into his Munich apartment. So now we're in Germany. Well, Bavaria's in Germany, but Munich, Germany.
But mom and all the other kids are going to go live in a house, and him and one of the kids are going to go live in an apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Not creepy at all.
Mm-mm. She did have her own room. I guess that's of note, but yeah, tummy ache at the thought of this, even with your own room.
I mean, is there any more to this story? Like, is she exceptionally gifted and he's a piano master and he wants to teach her the piano because she takes it up better than everybody else?
No.
Okay. Just didn't know if there's some kind of weird savant thing that maybe they both shared and it wasn't as creepy as it's seeming.
No, it's going to be pretty creepy.
Okay.
Whether by force on his part or personal choice on her part, she did end up staying with him and moved into the apartment in around 1929. While living there, he became very controlling of her. Let's get into her uncle here before he met Gelli. Uncle Alf was a troubled man, a high school dropout and a twice-failed artist. He joined the Bavarian army in 1914, where he received his first Iron Cross second-class military award in December of 1914. He described it as, quote, the happiest day of my life. He was wounded by shrapnel in 1916 and was hospitalized for a short time, but he was like super eager to get back out there on the front lines. He was really into the war and was like super gung-ho for it.
Yeah, soldier's got a soldier on.
Yeah. He received his second Iron Cross first class in 1918, but later that year he was again hospitalized after a mustard gas attack that led to his eyes being damaged, and he was temporarily blinded. While he was in the hospital, he learned of Germany's surrender, which ended the war, and this deeply outraged, embarrassed, disturbed him. He was very Germanically proud. He loved Germany.
Mm-hmm.
This led to him becoming radicalized, you could say, and him really getting into politics.
Mm-hmm. What was Uncle's name?
Uncle Alf.
Alf.
Mm-hmm.
That's short for something?
Sure is. In 1921, he became the leader of the Nationalist Socialist German Workers' Party, aka the Nazis.
Yeah, I caught it right before you were about to let it go, huh?
Yeah. He tried leading an attempted coup called the Beer Hall Putsch in 1923, but was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison, though he was released after only about a year. While in prison, he wrote a book that outlined his political views and future plans and ideas.
That's him making Mein Kampf.
Yes, we are indeed talking about Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Uncle's a bad man. This point.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah. But at this point, he is rising in terms of like power politically, and he is well known at this point.
Okay.
With the big surprise out of the way, let's jump back to Hitler and Gelli together. Shortly after they moved in together, it was suspected that Gelli was having a relationship with his chauffeur, Hitler fired this man, and the control over Gelli became like total. He would not let her do anything anymore. He started controlling who she was allowed to see and when. He did like to be seen out with her, though, like taking her to restaurants, the theater, even meetings, but he was the only one allowed to be seen with her. He even denied her applying to music school in Vienna, which was where he had been rejected twice for art.
You can't go there because they wouldn't let me go there?
We don't know the exact reasoning, but I think that's a fair assumption. It could have been he just didn't want her having like the social life outside of him, or it was petty, I got rejected twice, so you can't do it.
Wasn't Hitler like an amazing artist, though?
Yeah, he was a good artist.
Like a landscape artist or something.
Yeah.
He's basically Germany's Bob Ross.
Well, that's a big, bold claim. I don't know if I would go that far, but
I feel like I've seen at least one of his paintings, and I was kind of blown away when I found out Hitler painted it.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, he was a decent artist. Not good enough for Vienna, though.
Maybe instead of Germany's Bob Ross, he was the Third Reich's Bob Ross.
Well, Bob Ross was a good man. I don't think the same could be said about Uncle Alf.
What about the Third Reich?
What about it?
That's not good.
No.
So he was the Bob Ross of the not good thing. He's the not good Bob Ross.
Okay.
This
Sure.
makes sense.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, okay. Jealousy was a problem on both sides of this relationship, though, with Gelli being jealous of a model for Hitler's photographer, Eva Braun, Eva being the model, not the photographer, and him being jealous of everyone who admired her and who he thought she was having like a flirtatious conduct with. He actually once told this photographer, quote, "I love Gelli and could marry her," end quote. His controlling behavior was absolutely suffocating to Gelli, though. She was deeply unhappy and also deeply disturbed by this behavior and his, what we'll call, unusual request.
What unusual request?
Heads up, we're about to get nasty. You're going to learn stuff about Hitler you never wanted to know. The extent of their relationship is officially, air quotes, unknown, but it's safe to assume that it was sexual. Hitler's own parents had been first cousins, so this type of relationship probably didn't track as weird to him, but to us it is obviously a little unusual. Konrad Hayden, one of the most respected journalists who chronicled Hitler, reported that, quote, "Hitler wrote the young girl a letter couched in the most unmistakable terms. It was a letter in which the uncle and lover gave himself completely away. It expressed feelings which could be expected from a man with masochistic Copperfield inclinations, bordering on what Havelock Ellis calls oniadism. The letter probably would have been repulsive to Gelli if she had received it, but she never did," end quote.
Okay, and for my silly brain, I know what masochistic is. What was that? Copper what?
Copperfield?
Yeah, what's that?
Scat play?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what was that other word?
Undinism?
Yeah, what's that?
Water sports? Sexual pleasure from urine?
Oh, so he was into... Okay, this is legitimate. He was like a little bit of a masochist, a little bit of poop play, a little bit of pee play.
Yeah.
Golden showers, duty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How bad can one man be?
Hey, I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum. We all got our kinks.
Oh, no, we can bash Hitler's kinks all day.
Yes,
Are
I
you
was
kidding
just
me?
gonna say, I feel fine bashing Hitler for doing it, though. If y'all are into it, more power. Bless. Love that for you. Hitler into it? Nasty little man.
I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, no, if you're into wild stuff like that, I'm too vanilla for y'all, okay? No poo-poo or pee-pee in my bedroom. Thank you. I'm good.
Okay. This letter had been left laying around, and his landlady's son ended up with it somehow. And out of fear, several of Hitler's inner circle people were forced to buy the letter back from this kid. I don't know how old he was. He was probably a man, but they were scared that he was going to blackmail Hitler with this letter.
Yeah, did this letter end up getting burnt or something? Do we have this letter?
No, I could not find it. And even if I could, I don't speak German, but I
Would have
don't
been
know.
nice to have a translated version of that letter and just see how wild this man really was.
I have no clue what the letter said. In another telling of this story, instead of a naughty letter, another member of Hitler's crew, Putzi Hanfstengel.
Yeah, this is where I'm gonna make a disclaimer for Jamie. She's not German. I'm not German, and I'm just gonna give her full privilege to just power through these German words and names.
Yeah, I looked up pronunciations, but my mouth isn't used to making these words. I'm really sorry. I'm trying my best.
No, you're good. So, try that name. What was that?
Putzi Hanfstengel
All right.
says that it was pornographic sketches of Gelli. He claims in his 1957 memoir, quote, "This man had somehow come into possession of a folio of pornographic drawings Hitler had made. They were depraved, intimate sketches of Gelli with every anatomical detail." End quote. So in that quote, this man would be the landlady's son. So it's the same thing, but I mean, obviously they did a lot to cover this up.
So we don't know if it was a dirty scat poo poo pee pee party letter or if it was just dirty drawings.
Yes.
I mean, he is an artist.
Yeah, but that's also not to discount the poo poo pee pee play because that comes in more in a little bit. He did do that. That is true. Now, whether or not
I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. I thought there was maybe a little Titanic, draw me like one of your French girls things going on.
For all we know, it could have been both. We don't know. But Gelli will tell us herself he was into Bearman water sports. But we'll get into that.
Okay. I love that I just learned what water sports are. I feel so old. Never heard it called water sports before.
Well, I didn't want to keep calling it poo poo pee pee play. For myself, I'm going to continue with water sports.
Yeah, no.
Again, with Hitler on the rise, he is not Hitler as we know him yet. He is still trying to rise through the political ranks. So there is a lot of covering up for what this whole episode is going to be about. Had you ever heard of this?
No.
They did a lot to cover it up. So some people dispute these claims of Hitler having either the letter or the pictures, but Gelli herself would talk to other people about these kinds of things. So Wilhelm Stocker, an SA officer, later wrote, quote, "She admitted to me that at times Hitler made her do things in the privacy of her room that sickened her. But when I asked her why she didn't refuse to do them, she just shrugged and said that she didn't want to lose him to some woman that would do what he wanted." End quote.
So he really kind of Pavloved her into wanting this relationship too.
He's grooming her. She was 17 when they first lived together. When her mom first started helping him, she was only 17. That's still young. You're still baby brain, you know?
Yeah.
Another man, Otto Strasser, claimed that in 1931, Hitler let him take Gelli out to a ball one night, which is like, as far as I could tell, the only Hitler-approved date that she got to go on. He says, quote, "I liked that girl very much, and I could feel how much she suffered because of Hitler's jealousy. She was a fun-loving young thing who enjoyed the Mardi Gras excitement in Munich, but was never able to persuade Hitler to accompany her to any of the wild balls." End quote. It's just sad. Like, you're controlling every part of her life, and all she wants to do is go to a ball, go have fun, and he wouldn't even let her do that. He was also 19 years older than her, so there is kind of a power dynamic that we see in relationships where a young girl is with a much older man. They
you assume that with age comes, intellect, wisdom. They know what's best.
Yeah, so this whole story is obviously sad. I wouldn't be telling you this if it was a happy story, but I don't know, for some reason that just made me feel sad for her. This girl just wanted to go out and have fun. She's still young, and she can't do anything because Uncle Lover Adolf Hitler won't let her go. Of the night, he said, quote, "Gelli seemed to enjoy having for once escaped Hitler's supervision. On the way back, we took a walk through the English garden. Gelli sat down on a bench and began to cry bitterly. Finally, she told me that Hitler loved her, but she couldn't stand it anymore. His jealousy was not the worst of it. He demanded things of her that were simply repulsive. When I asked her to explain it, She told me things I knew only from my reading of Kraft Ebbing's Psychopathia Sexualis in my college days. End quote.
Whoa. I've never read that, but it sounds dirty.
Yeah, safe assumption. Yeah, so whatever she told him, which we can assume, he'd only read about it in a psychopathic book.
Psychopathic sexual book.
Yeah. We're all learning a lot more about Hitler than we wanted to know. He claimed she told him, quote, I'm going to preface this by saying, sorry, guys, this is gross. Quote, Hitler made her undress. He would lie down on the floor. Then she would have to squat down over his face where he could examine her at close range. And this made him very excited. When the excitement reached its peak, he demanded that she urinate on him, and that gave him his sexual pleasure. Gelli said that the whole performance was extremely disgusting to her, and that although it was sexually stimulating, it gave her no gratification. End quote.
Why did I feel like... I felt like that was going to go the other way around, honestly. I thought that Hitler was going to be the one doing the urinating. But there is a thing about people in power that want to be subs, huh?
Yeah, and he wanted to be a sub. He is the one getting pee-pee poo-pooed on. We will hear later reports where he wanted to be beaten.
Don't spoil it.
I mean, spoiler alert, sorry, but he very much was the sub in his relationships. He wanted a dommy mommy.
I can't be mad at him for that. Dummy mommies are hot.
On September 18th, 1931, people claimed to have witnessed or heard Hitler and Gelli getting into an argument. Gelli allegedly had another man in her life whom she was planning on marrying, but obviously this was never going to work. Between her knowing too much about Hitler and his sex life, and the fact that he was weirdly possessive of her, she was never going to get out of this. On this day, she had planned on going to Vienna while he left for a meeting in Nuremberg. As he was allegedly leaving, she called down to him from a window in the house, "Then you won't let me go to Vienna?" And Hitler from his car called up for the last time, "No." After he was gone, she apparently sat down at her desk to begin writing a letter to a girlfriend in Vienna. The letter started, quote, "When I come to Vienna, hopefully very soon, we'll drive together to Semmering and..." End quote. The letter was cut off before the word that she was writing was even done. The next day, the housekeeping couple of the home knocked on Gelli's door but got no response. Inside, Gelli was found dead from a gunshot wound to the chest and a gun laying next to her. Not just any gun, but Hitler's gun.
But Hitler was gone.
Mm-hmm.
So did she stop mid-writing and go, fuck it, I'm just going to kill myself? Or did somebody stop her from writing and frame a suicide?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say maybe Hitler did something bad here. Who, in the middle of writing what sounds to me, what translates to me, to be an upbeat letter? You know, who, I'm coming to Vienna, we'll take a drive together, and then just in the middle of that goes, you know what? Fuck it. Bang.
Who was the witness for Hitler driving away?
Hitler's friends.
That was it?
Yeah.
Just a couple of his friends?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Were they the only one? Stop mumbling for a second. Were they the only ones that corroborated the story that he actually left in a car?
Yes. Did you say cooperated?
Corroborated? Yeah, how do you say that?
Corroborated.
Corroborated?
Yes.
Are they...
Corroborated.
I've said corroborated my whole life.
Yeah, but I didn't want it in the podcast. You can say corroborated to me.
How come no one's ever corrected me on that?
I don't know.
Anyway, well, I'm silly. Corroborated. Has anyone ever corroborated, other than the friends, that he actually drove away?
No, we will get into...
Like, did he go somewhere?
We'll get into his alleged alibi, but realistically, there's only one thing that places him outside of this apartment. And other than that, it's just the words of him and his friends. But I'll touch on it in a minute.
Okay.
Gelli was given a pathetic attempt at an autopsy, with some sources claiming no autopsy at all. It was immediately listed as suicide, which, again, It very well could have been with how miserable she seemed to have been with Hitler and with his requests and everything. But to me, the fact that she's writing this seemingly upbeat letter to a friend talking about future plans and then it's just cut off, it doesn't click to me.
I mean, being somebody who has had depression in the past, or still struggles with depression, but anyway, somebody who knows what depression is like, it's very easy to feel like you're trying to do all the right things and be the right person you're supposed to be in the moment, and then this fucking wall hits and you go, fuck it.
Yeah.
What am I trying so hard for?
Yeah.
That's what depression is. It's an evil monkey on your back.
Oh God, preaching to the choir on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could see it. It's not outside the realm of possibility to be writing a nice upbeat letter and just go, ugh, this is so exhausting. Ugh, I'm over it.
Yeah, could be. The only problem with this is that immediately rumors started circulating and surfacing that her nose was broken when she was found. So I will agree depression can be very difficult, but not too frequently do people stop a letter, break their nose, and then shoot themselves.
No, but if you shoot yourself and you fall forward, you could break your nose.
Yeah, could be.
That's me playing devil's advocate as hard as I can. Hitler, that's as best as you're going to get out of me, because it really does look like all signs are pointing you killed this girl.
Yeah.
So
Another rumor was that she was pregnant. None of these rumors have been confirmed, though, because obviously we're doing a lot of cover-ups. They are prevailing rumors, though, almost being told as truth, but with absolutely nothing to back it up. So take those as you will. Take them for what they are. Hitler was told of the death, and Nazi Party leader Rudolf Hess said Hitler fell into a deep depression, even becoming a vegetarian after this because now meat reminded him of her corpse.
that sounds like somebody who's feeling a bit guilty for killing someone.
Yeah.
Meat reminded me of her corpse.
Yeah, I mean, he's a freaky dude. I think we've learned that pretty glaringly.
They find a bite mark on this girl, too?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Again, there was like little to no autopsy done of her. It was rushed so quickly. Even shipping her body, she ended up in Vienna so fast.
Well, she got to go. She wanted to go to Vienna. She went.
He left her room exactly as it was, and it was shut off, becoming kind of like a shrine to her. The depression, the weird switch to being a vegetarian, and the shrine to her could all be seen as, a man who lost who he would claim was like the love of his life. But I think you can do all that and still be guilty.
Yeah, you can regret doing things.
Yeah, especially
and you
like
can also regret things and feel like you had to do them anyway.
Yeah, especially like if it was like a crime of passion, right? They're into an argument. He gets so mad and bang, you're dead now. And now I'm fucking sad. I didn't wake up this morning thinking I was going to kill you, but now you're dead. And now I'm sad about it, even though I did it.
Yeah, totally plausible.
Yeah. So Heinrich Hoffmann, who was Hitler's photographer, was quoted as saying Gelli's death was when the seeds of inhumanity began to grow inside Hitler.
Oh, that's when it happened.
Mm-hmm. Before this, he was great.
Yeah.
But
yeah, grooming your niece and doing all that. It's all normal stuff.
And that's why I hate. There is another quote that I will get to, but they're almost making it sound like Gelli is the reason that he started becoming who he would be, which is absolutely insane to me. It is not this girl's fault that he decided to create the regime and kill millions of people. This is not Gelli's fault. But in quotes that we'll hear, they're almost framing it that way. Like Gelli's death was when the seeds of inhumanity began to grow. Shut up. No, they were always there.
Like I said, I'm vanilla. I think the squat down over my face and pee on it.
Not hot girl shit.
It's a little animalistic to me. But I'm so vanilla,
I'm vanilla, baby.
Yeah. I'm the Jack Harlow of the podcast world.
Oh, okay. Noted. Everybody mark that down.
Yeah. I'm vanilla, baby. I won't lay down and have you pee on me, baby.
Oh. You know what? Set your boundaries and stick to them. Good for you. Right after her death, cover-up stories immediately began. One of them was that Gelli killed herself due to nervousness of an upcoming musical debut. Ridiculous. If you're going to say she killed herself, give a better reason. Even Hitler couldn't get behind this being the reason. for the apparent suicide, and he like would not back this claim.
Okay. I mean, I'd contemplate if I had to get on stage. I have like really bad anxiety. So my stage fright is real.
Yeah. Another was that she was playing with the gun and it accidentally discharged and hit her in the chest. What? I guess dumb, but it's thrown out there as a idea for what happened to her.
Well, people don't know any.
Hell yeah.
Shit, I can't talk.
Nope.
For people who know nothing about firearms, it's easy to make a fatal mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully, people that are into young adulthood
would know better.
Than to point a gun at their chest. But I don't know. It happens. I can see it. Okay.
An outside rumor was that Gelli killed herself due to sexual requests from Hitler. So it was just the ickiness of it at the time, especially now, like in today's society, things are a lot more accepted when it comes to sexual kinks and things like that. But back then, I mean, like anal wasn't even talked about, wasn't accepted, anything like that, Now people talk about eating ass. Back then, that would have sent somebody into a coma. So that's what they're claiming here, was that just the sexual nature that she was put into was too much for her, and that's why she killed herself. This one is more likely to me, though I personally don't believe the suicide theory, but this one is a little bit more plausible due to other reports of women Hitler had apparently been with sexually. According to a CIA declassified newspaper article I found, 6 of the 7 women whom Hitler is said to have known intimately either committed suicide or made a serious stab at it.
He be doing shameful things.
6 out of 7 women either attempt or complete suicide.
Either he's doing nasty, nasty things that they can't recoup from, or homeboy's just seriously bad in bed. For somebody to be like, that's it. I can go no lower.
Nope, can't. I've hit rock bottom and I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
Well, either that or they weren't suicide. They were murder.
Yeah, I didn't even put that together. Everyone he's had sexual contact with, air quotes, commits suicide.
Mm-hmm. Or attempts to.
Well, do we have anything from the people who have attempted and lived?
Yes. One of these women is an actress named Renata Mueller, who allegedly spread rumors about Hitler and his apparent sexual requests. She said that he wanted her to kick him while he knelt down at her feet. So, no graphic stuff, but just more humiliation.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to be beaten. And again, this is something that people can't know about him. He's trying to become the leader of the world. If the leader of our world wants to be kicked and pissed and pooped on, that's not very intimidating. That's not going to hold a lot of power. So in 1937, she fell out of a window. And it was immediately ruled as suicide. Though, as with Gelli, there is some question as to whether it was suicide or murder. But she actually went public with these claims. She was telling people straight out he wanted me to, beat him while he's groveling at my feet.
Yeah. I thought you were going to tell me a story about somebody who survived.
No. I gave you a death story.
But that's what I was asking.
Oh, you were asking if
any of the attempted suicides talked after. Like, no, I didn't try to kill myself. Or if they were frightened into saying that they tried to kill themselves.
There was one woman, Maria Reiter. She tried to hang herself after Hitler started, ghosting her. But she survived this attempt, and she went on to live a full life. She ended up marrying somebody else and everything, but there's been no reports of her being like, they made me do it. That one was just, it seemed like she was saddened by the breakup. So we don't really know. Some of them could have been actual attempts for whatever reason, and some of them do seem to be a little bit more mysterious. Another possible explanation for if Gelli had actually killed herself was that she was jealous of the relationship that had started forming between Hitler and Eva Braun, who we know is the only person who technically married Hitler a few hours before they killed themselves together. Hitler's housekeeper, Frau Annie Winter, claims that she saw Gelli angrily tearing up a note that was found in one of Hitler's coat pockets. And Annie decided to put the letter back together for whatever reason, and it read, Dear Herr Hitler, thank you again for the wonderful invitation to the theater. It was a memorable evening. I am most grateful to you for your kindness. I am counting the hours until I may have the joy of another evening. Yours, Eva. So the relationship that he was starting with Eva might have made Gelli sad enough to try and to successfully take her own life. But this is just another guess as to what possibly could have happened.
Okay.
This next one is a two-parter of sorts. So back to the original rumor that she was pregnant. One theory is that she was pregnant with Hitler's baby. Scary sentence. This may also explain why she was so upset between the relationship of him and Eva. Like, I'm carrying your child and you're taking this other girl out.
Okay, I'm going to interject real quick.
Yes.
What's so scary about Hitler's baby?
Oh, good point. The idea of Hitler reproducing.
I think Hitler raising someone is probably terrifying, but yeah, I don't fault a child for their father's
Sins.
stuff. Yeah.
No, but I don't think he would have been a good dad.
No. But, life shakes out a lot of different ways,
Yeah, well.
Could have been fine.
Could have been.
Kid could have been fine.
He didn't make it too much longer, so could have been. The other pregnancy theory is that she was pregnant with a Jewish art teacher from Linz.
That is the straw that broke Hitler's back.
Yeah.
He's a Jewish baby in my niece girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what? All of them.
Fuck them all.
All the Jews going down now.
Terrible. Terrible. So
I believe that theory.
Do you? Is that the one you like best so far?
She was pregnant with a Jewish guy's baby, and then that lights a fire in Hitler's belly to just eradicate Jewish people.
Insane.
Double down on his superiority complex and eradicate
an entire race
of people because one of them impregnated your girlfriend niece. Yeah. Okay, I'm with that theory a little bit.
Okay. I think those theories could lend more towards the murder, though. Right? Like, Hitler can't be seen with his niece being pregnant with his baby. And alternatively, you were with another man, and now you're pregnant with his child. You gotta go.
Yeah, but see, that one, to me, I don't know how early on his hatred for Jewish people started.
Mm-hmm.
But if it hadn't hit mainstream yet, I could see that being a very crucial turning point. You know what I mean?
Is World War II all because of a man scorned?
Yeah. It's all her fault. Jamie,
I will beat you.
It's all her fault. If she didn't have sex with that Jewish guy, never would have happened.
Oh my God. I'm not even entertaining you right now.
Yeah, no, that's a ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
That's a ridiculous take to have there, and I will acknowledge that. I am joking.
Yeah, please. Oh my God, please don't believe this. This leads me to the last theory, which is that either Hitler himself killed Gelli or he had someone else pull the trigger for him. No one other than Hitler and his inner circle can confirm his movements during the night after she died. He did get a ticket for speeding the next day, which is like the only document supporting his alibi that he wasn't there, but he didn't get the ticket until the next day. So we don't know where he was during that afternoon and evening when she was already dead.
Yeah, a lot of things can happen in a day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he allegedly got this ticket as he was speeding back after he received the news that Gelli was dead. And I feel confident in saying Hitler's a liar. So he also claimed that him and Gelli never fought at all, though there are multiple reports that they were fighting and people saw or overheard this. So I don't think we can necessarily take him at his word that he wasn't there, you know?
Yeah, no, my first thought, though, was people in power usually don't do the thing themselves. So I did think if his friends were the ones to cover for him, it wouldn't be beyond me to think that a friend walked their ass upstairs after he drove off. Yeah. And she wasn't expecting anyone to come in.
Writing her letter.
And he just took care of business for Hitler.
I do agree with that. Countless people underneath him doing the actual killing, though it was on his word. It's kind of like a Charles Manson thing, right? Charles Manson never killed anybody. But he still had to go to prison. You still commanded it. So I'm also on board with that.
Yeah, because then he can still be sad, right?
I did not kill my girlfriend, lover, niece.
the love of my life is dead. What a tragedy. I wish I could bring her back. Too bad I'm the one who told the guy to go do it.
Meow, meow. Yeah.
I don't know too much about Hitler, except for the big stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that was Hitler-esque there.
Yeah. Beautiful. Reporter Ron Rosenbaum writes, here's a man who would go on to murder millions, who made the big lie his essential mode of operation. But a young woman is found shot with his gun a few steps away from his bedroom, and Hitler gets the presumption of innocence because he and his friends say he wasn't there at the time. Beautifully said, in my opinion, because he's right.
Mm-hmm.
A reporter named Fritz Gerlich may have solved the mystery surrounding Gelli's death, but we will never know for sure. He was working on a damning expose about this case when, on March 9th, 1933, 50 men burst into his office and beat him to a pulp.
50.
They took all the writings in his office and destroyed them. Gerlich was arrested and eventually sent to Dachau, where he tried to tell fellow prisoners about what really happened that night with Gelli. So,
what's Dachau?
A super famous camp.
Oh, sent to a camp. I thought a prison.
So he was sent to prison, but then he was moved to the concentration camp. All because he was writing an expose on this.
Yeah, 50 guys. I can't believe that is way overkill. I'd get my ass kicked by 3 guys. 5 guys is plenty.
Well, they had to get like all the writings, anything that was documented. They took everything out of his office and destroyed it. Gerlich was killed, unfortunately, in 1934 during the Night of the Long Knives.
What's the Night of the Long Knives?
It was essentially a 3-day purge that eliminated all opposition within the Nazi party and gave almost complete control to the SS.
Yeah, so now he has all the power that he needs to track down the whole lineage of the Jewish man that impregnated his niece's girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still sticking to that theory.
That's a good one. While we may never know for sure what happened to Gelli, it can be certain that the death affected Hitler. Once he came out of his depression, like his entire family had cut him off after this, essentially. And it was said that he came back crueler than ever. He truly was like, he was just mean from then on.
Yeah, I'd say having your niece and or lover killed would probably flip the fuck it switch and say, I'm just going to be as mean as I need to be.
Yeah.
I mean, how much lower do you go after that? And then we find out.
Yeah, and then we found out spectacularly.
Yeah, we find out how low this guy, he's like, hey, let's push the boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
And yep, genocide, that's where we go.
Yep. Hermann Göring would later say at the Nuremberg trials, quote, Gelli's death had such a devastating effect on Hitler, it changed his relationship to all other people, end quote. If we don't know, Hermann Göring was an extremely powerful person in the Nazi party. He was the leader of the Luftwaffe. He was an extremely high-ranking person during Hitler's reign. But like we touched on earlier, I do believe that whether it was suicide or murder or Hitler's own hand, I do believe that he was saddened by the death. Do I think it's the reason he turned into what he did and did what he did? No, but I do think that it probably did make him sad.
Yeah, I mean, if he had love for the girl, I definitely think so. I think the, for lack of a better word, the funnest story or theory in all of that, for me, is the one where she had a Jewish lover.
Yeah.
That ties a lot of things together, and it might be too simple.
Yeah.
Because people are not usually that simple. There's a lot of complexities that go into the inner workings of the depravity of man.
Yeah. Well, just 16 months after her death, on January 30th, 1933, Hitler was appointed chancellor. And then we get into World War II. But for the story of Gelli, that's just about it.
Yeah, that was a side of Hitler that I did not know about, and a story in his life that I didn't know about.
Yeah, crazy to me. Like you said, man is complex. There is not one singular reason that anybody can pin down and be like, oh, that's why he became a tyrannical lunatic.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that multiple people have said
this was like a turning point.
Yes. And it's something that I don't know if it's quite well known.
Yeah, I'd never heard anything about this before.
In all honesty, I hadn't either.
And I do like learning new things about super famous people, and then you find something crazy like this happened in the background.
Yeah. Slightly on topic, but slightly off. There were numerous people claiming that Hitler had said himself that he enjoyed younger women due to like their naivete. Like he felt that he could mold them or shape them and control them better when they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
So on top of all of his other crimes, he groomed multiple women. Like he met Eva when she was 16, very young. So I don't know if I'm just tacking on for no reason here, but he might have also been a bit of a pedo.
No, it's hard because back then, like early 1900s, young marriages were a thing. You know,
I suppose you're right. Yeah, we're talking.
It was pretty common. Yeah,
We're talking over 100 years ago now
Yeah.
at this point. Call back to our episode on Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah,
If you haven't listened to that, I don't want to spoil, but
yeah, he does get involved with his cousin, who
Young.
is a lot younger than he is. Because what was he? He was in his 20s, and she was like 13.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember the exact ages off top right now, but they had a pretty significant age gap as well. So it was more common back then. I'll concede that fact. But you know what? From the year of 2025, I will look back and judge.
What an interesting unknown story about a man that the whole world knows.
Yep. And now we all know him a little bit more intimately than I think we wanted to.
Definitely more than I wanted to.
Well, guys, that's what we got for you this week. Hope you guys learned something new. You guys can follow us on Instagram where I post pictures to go with the episode of the week. So you guys can have kind of a visual reference for what we're talking about. And you can follow us over on Threads.
Yes, on Threads, we're under Darkives Podcast, and I do weekly updates on the upcoming episode, and also just kind of jump around and have some fun in the community a little bit every once in a while.
Or you can send us an email at
thedarkivescommunity@gmail.com. That does it for the social stuff. Leaving a rating for us helps us grow. Also, comments, any engagement helps the algorithm gods and pushes us out there further. So we appreciate any support you guys can give. And with that, we'll see you guys next week.
as we uncover another Darkive together.
All right, till then, we'll see you guys.
Goodbye.